Welcome back, everyone, to another second stimulus check and second stimulus package update. Today is Thursday, December 17th, and arguably this is one of the most important stimulus check updates I have ever done in the history of my channel. This is because we are on the eve of an exceedingly paramount night. Tomorrow night is basically it. It is truly and figuratively and literally do or die for a lot of people. Tomorrow night is the deadline to avert a government shutdown. Congress has already acknowledged that it would have to pass a short-term stopgap funding bill in order to keep the government partially open to avoid a partial government shutdown. So this update is extremely important. We have learned a lot, and good signs, some bad news. We're going to be talking about it in this update. And before we can even scratch the surface, as always, if you have been enjoying my content, you have been enjoying my videos, you do appreciate the output and the effort, go ahead and show your support by smashing that like button, give the video a big thumbs up. Just turn that like button blue. It will actually increase the YouTube algorithm. More eyeballs will get on the video. So I do appreciate if you could do that. And if you want to become part of the community, if you're not already, do become a subscriber. Hit that big red button as well. Also hit the notification bell. That will actually notify you every single time I do post a new video. What happens is the videos can get lost. Maybe they get lost on the recommended. You don't see them on the recommended. Maybe they get jumbled up in millions and billions of videos that you've been watching down the YouTube rabbit hole. So in order that you are first in line and you don't miss a beat, make sure that you do have that notification bell clicked. If you're feeling extra generous this holiday season, go ahead and also share the video with a friend. Share it with a family member or a friend, someone that you think might get value and information from my channel. Of course, it's free. It's a free gift. You don't have to pay for that gift. Totally free to do so. So where we left off from the last update, if you didn't see it yet, of course, the link will be down below in the description as always. We learned that the next stimulus package could in fact include unemployment benefits as well as a stimulus check. It always seemed for weeks that we had to sacrifice one for the other. The White House offer said no unemployment benefits, but yes, a $600 stimulus check, whereas the bipartisan framework said no stimulus checks, but we'll give you unemployment benefits. So between the two packages, it seemed like we had to choose between one or the other. We didn't know which we were going to get. But in this case, after the efforts of high-ranking officials such as Senator Bernie Sanders, Senator Josh Hawley, remember, they were working and tirelessly fighting viciously to get a stimulus check included in this new stimulus package. And after all of that, their efforts did pay off. The dues were paid because now it seems that we will be getting stimulus checks in this new package as well as unemployment benefits. But Republican Senator Josh Hawley has not thrown in the towel yet. He has not called it a day. He will still be fighting to increase that number to $1,200, believe it or not. Josh Hawley will be appearing on the Senate floor tomorrow, and he will be pleading and fighting for that number to change to $1,200 or $2,400 for couples. Senator Hawley proclaimed on Twitter today, on Thursday, saying, quote, "Tomorrow I will go to the Senate floor to ask for an up or down vote on my bill to provide a direct payment of $1,200 to working Americans, $2,400 for couples, $500 for kids. This is the COVID relief working families need." Senator Josh Hawley is teaming up with Senator Bernie Sanders, an unlikely tag team, to amend this bill to call for $1,200 or $2,400 for couples. And this would be very similar, of course, to the CARES Act, which provided $1,200, $2,400 for couples, as well as $500 for a dependent. But likely under this new bill, the definition of dependent would be expanded to children that are more older than 16, 17, 18 years old. So that's great. We can get this passed, hopefully. But there is a small trade-off that we actually have to make here that not many people realize. It's a small trade-off, a small compromise, but it's just something that was swept under the rug and really didn't get noticed. So under that bipartisan framework that was originally proposed by that bipartisan group of lawmakers, remember, it would have called for $300 a week for an additional 16 weeks in unemployment benefits, and independent contractors and gig workers and the self-employed would have also gotten that extension due to the extension of PUA, or Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. So because the bipartisan framework did not call for stimulus checks of any amount, be it $600 or $1,200, we could have easily afforded an additional 16 weeks of unemployment benefits. So what happened was, after negotiators heard the calls from Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley, their threats to actually block the bill if it did not include stimulus checks, the negotiators adjusted accordingly. So yes, they added that $600 for individuals as well as dependents, but they also had to pare back on some of the unemployment benefits instead of just layering additional funds on top to allow for unemployment benefits. So now we're actually going to be getting, instead of 16 weeks, it's going to be cut to 10 weeks. As the current state of the legislation stands, it would be 10 weeks of extended unemployment benefits, not 16. So because of this trade-off, some experts and analysts are seeing this as an own goal. They're seeing this as legislators shooting themselves in the foot. It's certainly an interesting dynamic in Washington. You just can't get everything you want. So the deadline hasn't moved. The goalposts haven't moved. Friday night at midnight is essentially the deadline, unless we could go through into the weekend, as Mitch McConnell did state and has already prepared his caucus members to do. But Friday night is generally the deadline here to pass the next bill, as well as a government funding bill to keep the government open. Mitch McConnell has actually sounded pretty good over these last few days. He's actually sounded like a decent human being, because what's happening is a lot of politics are being played here. Some of the hang-ups, according to aides in the negotiations, have said that the hang-ups include Federal Reserve powers, state and local government matching requirements for disaster grants, and myriad of smaller disagreements over non-pandemic add-ons has definitely slowed the progress down. So in response to this, Mitch McConnell got up on the floor and said, do we want to lapse into politics as usual and let negotiations lose steam? Do we want to haggle and spar like this was an ordinary political exercise? He then went to say, or on the other hand, after months of inaction, do we want to move swiftly and with unusual bipartisanship to close out our issues, seal the deal, and write text that can quickly pass into law? Granted, he did a lot of this himself, very contradictory, as he basically did a lot of this finger-pointing and politics himself. The urgency was underscored today, Thursday, as we just learned of the new unemployment numbers. We just got some new data in our hands, and we learned that 885,000 people applied for unemployment benefits just last week. This is actually the highest total since September because of the spiking coronavirus cases all over the country. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was somewhat optimistic on a new package being passed. She walked into Capitol Hill this morning saying, quote, "We made some progress this morning." So not bad, definitely not bad news. So yes, tomorrow night, Friday night, midnight is our deadline, but if needed, we could potentially have a very small bit of an extension. According to Mitch McConnell, he had also said today, quote, "If we need to further extend the Friday funding deadline before final legislation can pass in both chambers, I hope we'll extend it for a very, very short window of time," his words. So the House of Representatives is hoping to vote on a massive spending bill tomorrow. That would be the $1.4 trillion government funding bill attached with the COVID-19 relief bill. So ideally, the House would pass it tomorrow before midnight, and then hopefully between Friday night all the way into Saturday, hopefully lawmakers are not going to get any sleep because Americans are counting on them. Hopefully, then the Senate could pass it Friday into Saturday, and then ultimately Trump could also put pen to paper and sign it away. So in a perfect utopia, in a perfect world, that would be the best scenario if we could see that happen. But as we know, lawmakers are not always at the top of their game, especially when they're about to adjourn for the holidays and a holiday season. But I think it is likely, in my opinion. I do think it happens. I think we can get it done. It will be last minute. It's not going to be a easy, quick thing. Definitely they're going to procrastinate. But I do think we can get it done. You could pray to whatever God you worship, however you want to go about your business. That's totally fine. I'll be here for you guys. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be watching just as close as every American, and certainly you guys are. So I'll be definitely hopping on and hitting that record button. As always, I'm going to be here for you guys. But I do hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Smash that like button. Give the video a big thumbs up. Also, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, the notification bell as well. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Let's hope. Cross your fingers.